You might be wondering how dozens of ARC reports fit into your UPSC answers and which recommendations really matter for marks. By the end of this video, you will be completely clear about the Administrative Reforms Commission, its main recommendations, and how to use them in your answers. Think of the ARC as a long-term advisory compass for India's bureaucracy. It points out problems and suggests practical fixes. We will start with what the ARC is, move through its major reports, and end with the one insight most aspirants miss. And towards the end, we will understand a key idea that most UPSC aspirants miss. The ARC was set up by the Government of India to study public administration and recommend changes to make governance efficient, transparent, and accountable. The first ARC, formed in 1966 under Morarji Desai, produced 15 reports on topics like ethics, financial management, and early ideas on e-governance. Picture the first ARC as a diagnostic team that examined how government offices worked and suggested hygiene fixes for administration. The second ARC, established in 2005 under Veerappa Moily, aimed to produce a comprehensive blueprint for a proactive, responsive, and accountable administration at all levels. The second ARC's reports are especially useful because they connect reform ideas to modern challenges like terrorism, local governance, and RTI implementation. Let's break the key reports into simple chunks you can remember for answers and interviews. The first major report pushed the right to information and recommended repealing the Official Secrets Act, changing privilege rules in evidence law, and protecting whistleblowers. When you write about RTI in the mains, use the ARC's line on repealing secrecy laws and its focus on whistleblower protection as evidence of reformist intent. Another report linked to social policy recommended strengthening NREGA implementation and using IT for monitoring funds and outcomes, which shows administrative linkage to welfare. For disaster and crisis management, the ARC advised a national disaster policy and using GIS for prevention and planning. These are concrete administrative tools to cite. On ethics in governance, the ARC recommended reforming political funding, tightening anti-defection rules, disqualifying those facing serious criminal charges, and creating an Office of Ethics Commissioner. These ethics suggestions are high value in UPSC answers because they show structural solutions rather than moral platitudes. For e-governance, the ARC insisted on prioritizing projects, allocating 2 to 3% of the planned budget, building common support infrastructure, and pursuing business process re-engineering. The Citizen-Centric Administration Report pushed for effective public grievance redressal and simplified procedures for services like driving licenses and building permits. Remember these grouped themes: transparency, social delivery, crisis readiness, ethics, digital transformation, and citizen focus. The ARC's recommendations also unfolded across phases of implementation: experimental in 1970 to 1984, transitional in 1984 to 1991, reformist in 1991 to 1995, and mainstreaming from 1996 onwards. These phases help you explain how reforms move from pilot ideas to policy mainstreaming after economic liberalization. For UPSC, this topic is very important for General Studies Paper 2 on governance and public administration, and it often appears in mains questions about administrative reforms and transparency. Use ARC reports in your answers as authoritative sources. Add specific recommendations like the 2 to 3% e-governance budget and quote small case examples to score higher. A quick way to structure a mains answer is to define ARC, list 2 to 3 key recommendations with examples, discuss implementation issues, and conclude with a short way forward. In interviews, refer to ARC suggestions when asked about improving delivery, curbing corruption, or modernizing public systems. It shows you know policy prescriptions, not just theory. Now the key idea most aspirants miss. ARC is not just a list of fixes. It is a framework for linking administrative design to citizen outcomes. So always connect recommendations to how they affect people. For example, saying e-governance saves time is weak. Explain how common support infrastructure reduces duplication, lowers costs, and improves grievance redressal for citizens. To recap, ARC stands for Systematic Review of Administration, first set up in 1966 and reconstituted in 2005 with reports on RTI, NREGA, crisis management, ethics, e-governance, and citizen focus. Keep in mind the phases of reform. Use concrete ARC recommendations in mains and link every recommendation to citizen impact in interview answers. You are closer to turning a confusing pile of reports into crisp, exam-ready points. And that shift is what will improve your answers. If you want structured notes, model answers, or quizzes on ARC recommendations, continue learning with EduRev, where you'll find curated resources and practice questions tailored for UPSC. Stay curious. Practice applying ARC recommendations to current examples, and you'll find administrative reform questions far easier than they first seem.